I am Claire. Welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I am going to be doing lilsimeis Spooky Shell Challenge in The Sims 4. So, I've been wanting to do a shell challenge for a while. I know, there's a lot of YouTubers that do these, and I'm not exactly sure who started this challenge, but I wanted to do lilsimeis shell challenge for this week's video. One, because I wanted to make a vampire home. Two, I didn't really feel like doing the exterior wall cringe anyway, and so having lilsimeis basically build me the exterior already, or the exterior walls, was like, oh, this is like going to be a time saver, and so this is why I'm doing this challenge. So this home is for a big vampire family of 7, so it is 7 Sims plus a dog, so it is a whole entire 8 Sims that can live in this house. So we are starting off in the kitchen, and I kind of gave each apartment type of place a color scheme, so it's easy to play in, and you're like, oh, the green kitchen is part of the main house, the blue space is the teenager son's space. I gave them like a separate entrance. I was thinking that like they were having a bit of family difficulties, and the teen, or not the teen, the oldest daughter just got married, and the dad wants her to move back home, but she would only move back home if there was a separate entrance, and so he was already doing construction to the house, and so the teenage sons got their own space since the oldest daughter, just got married and moved back home. So we are just going to be working on the front entryway now, and I wanted to make sure there was an umbrella stand at every single entrance. Well, there isn't a umbrella stand in the entrance to the backyard, but I feel like that'd be kind of private, so they won't tell like, oh, they're burning to death, or oh, I see a vampire. So I wanted to build this in Forgotten Hollow, since this is the vampire world, and now we are just still working on the entryway. I wanted to put a plant in the middle of the entryway just because it seemed empty, and so I'm like, oh, what would a fancy kind of manor house have? And I would assume they would have a plant in the middle of the hallway. Why? I'm not sure. So now we are working on the living room, and the living room is keeping with the green theme throughout of the parent space. They do have a child still living with them. They haven't had a big family argument with the child yet, so she's still happily living with them. She's actually the favorite, and I gave her a dog, and there is a lot of dog stuff in the backyard for her to play with the dog with, and I did make a family for this house. I was gonna say apartment for this house. I feel like it's easier for me to know who to design for if I give them personalities, if I give them the sloppy trait, or the neat trait, or the dog lover trait. So we do have a family to live in this house. If you don't really want to live in this house, but you want to just see it or visit this house, I have a family. It's called Big Vampire Family, and you can find them on the Sims 4 gallery. My ID is Sierra Faldmo, and so now we are working on this kind of front porch closed off area. This is the entrance to the backyard, and I do put an umbrella table, but I also forgot that there is a roof up above, so I do exchange that umbrella table for a different table that doesn't have an umbrella, since there is a roof covering the table. I just forgot about that when I was building this house, and so now we are putting in that dog agility course stuff. I do also have planter boxes because I thought it'd be easier for your Sims to grow plasma fruit if they don't want to put if they wanted to go hunting. So we are just going to be finishing up that area, and just going to be adding a rug into the office area. I was kind of thinking that there was office room, but since of the home renovations, they had to kind of just set it off to the side. And I would also think that like the vampires don't really know how to use technology all that much, and it probably would just be like, oh, what's this? Okay, I guess I'll use a computer. And so now we are in this weird triangle bathroom, and so I wanted some things to be updated in the house, but I didn't want other things to be updated in the house. I figured since they were like renovating a spot in their house for their daughter and their teenage sons to live, they would probably also update the lighting, but for some reason they wouldn't want to update the toilets. I just really want to use the vampire toilets, but I thought that'd be like a fun storyline in a way. So we are just going to be adding the Don't Wake the Llama table for family game night, and I feel like vampires would be kinda bored. Like they like need to like stay secret, but they also want to experience life. I feel like vampires would be so bored. And so now we are just going to be walking into the hallway area and going to be starting off in the daughter's bedroom. So this child is very indecisive. So I wanted this bedroom to kind of be simple. I didn't want to like give any like fun wallpaper in this room because I feel like she's a child and most childs are very indecisive. They don't really know what they want. I did give her the likeness of pink and purple for the sim that I created to live in this room, and so I do have a lot of red in this room. I did want to go for a very pink room, but a very pink room was the last vampire house I made last year, and so I didn't want to do the same thing again, and so it's very kind of simple because a child is very indecisive, and so you can see I have a lot of posters because indecisiveness, and also it's just fun kid posters, just trying to also make it like a fun room for this child. And I do have a dog bed in this room because that dog would be hers. And so now we are in the master bedroom, and so you have to walk through the bathroom to get to the bedroom. I just kind of wanted to add a quirky feature like that, and so now instead of adding a bed, we are adding coffins, because when else are you going to use coffins in The Sims unless you're using it for vampires? I mean, I guess you could maybe like make a graveyard or a church or something, but I was like, when else am I going to use these coffins? And so I just went for it. So there are two coffins for the mom and the dad, and so now we are just going to be adding some pictures. We do come back at the very end and add more pictures, but we are also just adding a tapestry. And so now we are in this bathroom, so it has all of the essentials, and it has it's basically the hallway to the master bedroom. And so now we are just going to be adding all of the smaller necessary items like toilet paper, and going to be going into the teenage son's room. So they recently got into an argument with their parents, like I said earlier, and so they are living in like a separate space, but it's still attached to their parents' home. You can also use this for a rental unit. I'm not exactly sure why you'd want to use this for a rental unit, just for, I guess, another income, I guess. So we do have a kitchenette, and we are just going to be adding beds. I end up going with bunk beds to be a space saver, and so we are just going to be figuring out which bunk beds to use. So it's easier for you to define which space is which. That kind of helped me build this. It's like, okay, this is like the main part of the house. This is the teenager's son's room. So I do give them a desk since they are still in high school. They probably would need a space to do their homework, and I wouldn't really imagine them being the neatest sim, so I added spider webs. I added the cabinets from CD Living, and since it is such a small space, I added some things for them to do outside, like a piano and a boxing, but I do also have some instruments inside. So now we are just going to be adding this side table that looks like a barrel of fruit, and I feel like they wouldn't really want to like rely on their parents, so I feel like they would like get like a thing of a box of fruit and then sell the fruit and then use the box for a side table, and then that light is probably like from their childhood bedroom. And so I did want to make like the posters a little bit more mature, a little bit like, oh, I want to be a scientist when I move out of the house and get a real job. And so we do also have a gaming console for them, and now we are just going to be working on this 2x2 bathroom. So I am going to be using the shower from the Discover University pack, and now we are just going to be figuring out the best layout for this space. So I do shove the shower kind of in the corner. I mean, I know your Sims can walk over the shower, but I just felt like it would be easier to just kind of put it where I had put it. And so now we are just going to be adding a rug into the space, and so I use this one from Cats and Dogs, and I just size it up because I wanted to keep up the blue theme like I keep mentioning. And so we are just going to be adding a blue sink to keep with the theme, and now we are just going to be going back outside and going to be going into the young adult daughter's apartment. And so I use an umbrella chair table up here since I don't have any roofing over this part of the house, and I do have a easel. I feel like the son-in-law would be like a mid-sunset forest painter. That's very specific, but I just thought that'd be kind of funny to say that he's a sunset forest painter, and so he's basically the vampire Bob Ross. So we are just going to be adding a little bit of a bigger kitchen into her space, and going to be going and adding a Murphy bed. So the parents' room is green, the brother's room is blue, and this is like kind of more like a creamy beige. I don't really know why I went with creamy beige, but I just thought it looked nice. And so we are just going to be adding all the necessities. I feel like this part of the house was probably the most funnest to do. So we are just going to be adding fire alarms because I feel like the vampires wouldn't really be the best cooks. Like I said, resale value for the kitchen, and so we are just getting close to the end of the video. Just going to be adding a few more things here and there. So I hope you enjoyed watching. If you want to play in this house, make sure to go down in the description. I post new videos every single Tuesday, so I hope you all come back for another Sims 4 video. I hope you enjoyed watching this one. I had a very fun time making it, and I hope to see you all next week. Bye!